is happening, everybody? My name's Seven and welcome back to a Fortnite video. Now in today's video we're going to be talking about some amazing upcoming information that you guys definitely need to know, because it's going to be a game changer legit. But before we get into that information, I want to let you know that in the description below there is a giveaway that you can all go and enter. Like go do that, and the winner will be announced on Christmas Day. So let's get straight into it. Now sit back and relax, because this video is going to be packed with so much information it will blow your brains. The first thing that we're going to talk about is a new section of the map being updated. Now, there are large parts of the map which just are empty. You know, you land over in Greasy Grove and then that's it. Pretty much anywhere after that, wherever you go, you're going to be roaming around in the wilderness of the map in Fortnite Battle Royale, trying to hunt down players, having the slowest game of your entire life, or then getting killed by a bush. But with this, they are now updating, or in the near future they will be updating and adding new points of interest, one of which is this. This is a city that they've showed a little sneak peek of that we currently have never seen before, and it's very obvious that it's in one of the areas on that left side of the map, simply because there is just nothing happening there whatsoever. Now, they've mentioned that this is the whole plan to try and fill up these empty spaces and try and introduce more gameplay variety, so there's more conflict happening instead of just empty gameplay. But not only are they doing that, they're also introducing more variety to the map by updating existing areas that we know of, such as the mountains and the swamps and all those cool regions that we can go and visit in the actual game. They're going to be customizing it so that each of the different areas don't just have the same flora, they also have different plants, etc. in those specific areas. So for example, in the swamp, they will work on unique flora and the landscape to develop it so that it fits a swamp environment and it's perfect, and it's very different to, say for example, the Wailing Woods, which is just a set forest land. Now, you'll be able to quickly recognize the difference as well from the air by looking down and seeing the flora and all the landscape changes as well once they do this development, because they want people to be able to not have to just keep on popping open their map. They want to be able to look down at the map and go, I know that area's for this and that there area's here, and I know I'm going to find this here, and etc. And it makes it a lot more immersive as well, instead of it all being copy and paste across the map. It's going to be absolutely awesome, and this development is definitely one of the biggest things that we're talking about in today's video. So if you're hyped for this and you have ideas for things that they should definitely whack into the map and other points of interest, let me know below, and let's carry on looking through the future updates that they've mentioned. We all love cosmetics in every game that we ever play in, and granted, I know a lot of people are iffy about the ones in Fortnite because they are expensive, but we all know the game is free and we're trying to help develop the game and keep its life going, so I won't go down that route. But what I want to talk about is, though, they are trying to keep the same original mesh. Now, the mesh is obviously the hitbox of the character. You start playing with the mesh and how it looks around, etc. You're going to start playing with the hitbox and making larger and smaller characters. You really want to keep the same original mesh when it comes to creating characters, but what they're trying to do is try and change some of the textures and other ideas on, say for example, not only characters but also things like the actual initial gliders that we had as well. So the next step to add more unique detail to the game while preserving the original mesh, they want to start doing things like what I'm showing you on screen. You can see there's different customization. They've done some remodeling of some gliders, the pickaxes, and of course the characters that archive the vision that they originally went for. So they're definitely going to be customizing a lot more in the game as well, and we can expect to see more character customization and item customization and how it changes and develops over the next coming months. Friends, whenever we play duos or we play in squads and we go, hey, we ain't got any of our mates on, let's go and just play solo but meet some new people in these different game modes, what Fortnite are trying to do is develop the social features in the game as well. So not only are you going to be able to play and communicate with people easier, you're also going to be able to import new friends from games that you've played in the past, add and obviously remove friends, and they're going to work on this whole different social feature layout, as well as adding certain playlists such as duos to servers like the Oceania, because there currently isn't a duo playlist. They're always monitoring the population per platform and per region, looking at the playlists and see what people play and when they play it, so that they can run the servers smoothly, and this of course will impact social features. So if you're excited about making new friends, then of course this development is handy for you. However, if you're one of those people that go into these games and instead of making friends you try and make enemies by team killing, oh damn, they're going to be getting you. They are going to be banning your ass. They're going to be getting you in some trouble. okay, well, you're going to be getting yourself in trouble. They're going to be taking action based upon the player reports. So they're going to look at the player reports over a period of time. If this is straightforward and it just looks blatantly obvious that you have just done something completely rotten and you just shouldn't have done it, you will get absolutely destroyed by Epic Games, because they are very serious about maintaining a quality of gameplay and experience for their player base across the planet. They're also developing their analytics systems and their models to weed out the worst offenders and the long-term offenders as well. It almost sounds like a prison sentence, but also to pair people who actually have better reputation with people with better reputation. So eventually it's going to get to the point where you're such a bad player, you're just going to be listed with bad players, and you're just going to have trouble. It's going to be like separating the player base into heaven and hell. You can imagine what the difference would be like. Heaven would just be great players, good experience. Hell would just be every game, everyone would be getting reported. Do you have a problem hitting the enemies that are actually in the map? You might get into a conflict and you're like, mate, I'm shooting directly at you. Why are my bullets going left, right, up and down, all around? Look, I might as well even be shooting behind me and have no luck at all hitting you, even directly facing you. So I might as well shoot completely elsewhere. Well, that design of the actual ammunition and how it fires at the direction of an enemy is designed so that we can actually use building and survive using building in gunfights. But they are trying to do play testing and trying to figure out a new shooting model to kind of remove that random bullet spread while aiming down sight. But they also want to improve shooting so they can maintain the usefulness of using building as cover. So, you know, they have to find a balance between this, but they are working on trying to improve it. So the shooting can provide, of course, a better client test, and obviously the servers will then provide feedback once we have this added into the game, because we will then be able to rate it and go, hey, we like it, we don't like it. You know, this change will, of course, play with everyone's accuracy. So let me know what you think. Can you shoot straight currently? Do you think they should fiddle with this layout, or do you think it's perfect and it just fits the style of game that Fortnite actually is? A huge part of this game with Battle Royale is the RNG. When we land in a map and we pick up all the loot and we try our very best to advance through the game, the important factor is organization and luck. So once we have the luck, we've got the good weapons and the good items, we've got the slurp juices, the grenades, the, you know, the bandages, the everything, the smoke grenades, then we need to find a way to organize it. Now, they're working on a really cool way of trying to revamp the entire inventory. So the interface that they're working on is much cleaner, and it makes it a lot easier to manage the inventory that we actually have. So they want to, say for example, dropping items needs to be performed by simply just dragging it out of the main inventory box instead of having to pull it into a specific box on screen, which it currently is set like that. And then also the quick buttons for splitting and dropping half of the enemy loot and sharing things with people will be easier as well. I know a lot of my mates struggle with the splitting and sharing of ammunition. It's a crazy simple thing, but it honestly can be pretty problematic. So what do you think of this new layout of the inventory revamp that they've got going on so far? I really like it. Very simple, very clean looking, and as long as it's easy, then anybody will pick it up and just play with it and do the best that they possibly can. At the end of every match, whether it's at the beginning of the game that you died, or whether you won, or you came second or third, or you came 20th, doesn't matter where you came, wherever you did, wouldn't you like to know your results at the end of the game? At the moment, there's no kill cam, there's no stats, you just simply die and then you spectate the person who killed you, and it's like rubbing salt in the wound. But they're looking at inputting something called post-match stats. Now they want to provide feedback to you as a player after every single match. So they're working on this post-match stat screen, which I'll show you on screen now, which shows once you've been eliminated. Now, as you can see, this shows how many kills you got, how many assists you got, how many revives, your accuracy generally, how many hit points you got, the critical hits, the distance that you traveled, all about the materials used and all the materials and players damaged, and then obviously shows you the XP gain you got as well. So this is going to be really cool because it's going to give us a huge chance of going, okay, for example, I got 10 kills but I got 15 assists. That should have been a 25 kill game, you know. Or hey, maybe I didn't do this, so maybe I need to change that. Or hey, this amount of kills totals to this amount of XP, so we know what we need to push for and what we need to do in our future games. And I think this just in general is going to be absolutely awesome. There are so many more changes that will be made to Fortnite in general, so many more game modes, so many more weapons, so many awesome leveling features, character customizations, map developments. Epic Games does a really good job, and on the horizon we have, of course, new items to expect. They've clearly stated that they've only scratched the surface with what they've already input into the game, such as the launch pad, the bush, silenced SMG, the slurp juice, the smoke grenades. They're going to be adding so much more. They're also working on custom games. At this moment in time, if you look in game on your menu, it says custom matchmaking. They're doing some things at DreamHack, so there's some cool things that'll happen there as well. They're working on the visual fidelity as well as the performance overall of the game, and also badge and medals, which is how we're going to be able to highlight the most amazing plays per game. There's just so much stuff that they're developing, and I really hope that this video has given you a good update on what's expected to come, because honestly, I'm just so excited. They're going to be fiddling with the audio settings, they're going to be working with the layout of the map and the design of everything. I cannot wait to see more. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see who wins this giveaway that I also mentioned at the start of the video. Best of luck to you, all you awesome people, and I hope that you enjoy all the platforms that you will then discover along the way entering that giveaway as well. Take care of yourselves, have a wonderful day. My name's V7, also known as Martin Lee Wood. Like and comment on all that you love. Peace.